Hi, good afternoon to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to the Wednesday edition of Hogan's European Outlook. This is the US 2 minute temperature anomaly for the first half of November 2022. We've got a very cold western portion of Canada, very warm across Ontario and Quebec, and of course the western United States cold versus warmer than normal east. This is how Europe is looking. You can see here that we are very, very warm compared to normal. And, we're looking at that 2 meter temperature normally over the United States, very warm in the east. But this is what is going on at the moment across the United States. As you can see here, we've got a flood of Arctic air coming down and encompassing pretty much the entire United States. As I play through this GFS loop, we continue to see the Arctic air getting driven southwards out of Canada as we've got a very strong area of high pressure up over Alaska. But what happens is we start to see the trough return to Alaska. We start to see more Pacific air getting driven back across the lower 48. So we start to see warmer air across the country. Notice here as I continue to play through the loop, colder air does start to come back in once again towards the very end of the month and into the early portion of December, especially across the eastern half of the United States, as you can see here. Looking at Europe, of course, we have seen a very, very warm month so far. We're not really going to see a big turnaround taking place, so this month will wind up warmer than normal. Now, if you notice here, this is off the GFS ensemble. This is the upcoming 5 day period, colder than normal across much of Scandinavia, Finland, and northeastern portions of Europe. Now, what we've got is high pressure over the northern portion of the continent. We've got, of course, a strong jet stream continuing to push systems in off the Atlantic. The UK sits almost under that imaginary wall within the atmosphere, and that cold never truly penetrates east, or should I say west, into the British Isles. We do cool things down somewhat, but then it looks as if, certainly according to the latest GFS ensemble, we warm things back up once again. And this is the reason why I say be very, very careful when it comes to this here. The Arctic Oscillation still expected to go into neutral, or should I say, sorry, uh, into negative territory, as you can see here, and also the NAO is expected to go negative as well. But the question is, do we have cold air in the pattern to tap from in the first place? We can have a negative Arctic Oscillation, negative North Atlantic Oscillation, and we still don't get the cold into the UK. And it just seems to almost be, it's becoming harder and harder to an extent to get cold into the British Isles. And my concern is that we have got a pattern that looks good, looks favourable, but we miss out here in the British Isles. And certainly that European high has been almost permanent throughout the course of the year. And my fear is that it raises its ugly head at a time of the year when you don't want to see it. So we need to keep an eye on that. We need to be mindful of that as we go into this upcoming winter season here. We've got a lot of variables. We've got the Pacific in a scenario, I think, where we need to watch what's going on there. The negative EPO that we've got at the moment, which has high pressure over Alaska, we're seeing that reverse. We're seeing the EPO going positive. And I think the WPO and the EPO, as well as the Manchulian Oscillation, I think the Pacific will be the driver this upcoming winter season. And we're going to have a fight on our hands between some of the significant driving mechanisms within the tropical Pacific Ocean. I think that is going to be the driving force. So you can see here, this is the upcoming 5 day period, the big picture. So that Greenland, very, very warm, as you can see here. Alaska, very warm. But of course, when you look at the upper air pattern, you can see the overall setup here. You can see that we've got that strong positive over Alaska, forcing Arctic air coming down into the central and eastern portion of the United States. There's that blocking area of high pressure, but it's way up to the north here, and we're not shutting down the Atlantic. We don't have a tremendous amount of cold air. It's still early in the season, of course, and we're simply cooling the pattern back to average as opposed to anything else. So we'll have to keep all things in consideration here. As I play through the loop of the GFS and so on, we can see here there is not a tremendous signal, but we do have a buildup of pressure up into the our side of the Arctic Ocean, if you notice here, but there's nothing really significantly firm when it comes to the potential of cold during the second half. We're certainly reverting back to nearer normal once again, but I don't see any significant changes. That's for sure here. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, short and sweet. I do appreciate you watching. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Please like, share with your friends and family, and hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.